As you can see here on this picture, these are all the reward categories that are being used in this credit card for. So everything that I've been sharing here with you, I've been using this credit card for, and the results have been shocking. With everything so expensive nowadays, I don't know about you, but I love me a credit card that can literally give me money back on my everyday expenses. And if you are a busy professional or a parent that is looking up to save some money and get some money back, which quite honestly we can all benefit from, then the Blue Cash Preferred from American Express has some great features that can be for you. So in this video, we're gonna go over whether or not this credit card is for you and is it really worth the hype. And I'm gonna go over my experience, the best card features, the pros, the cons, and hey, whether or not I would recommend it to my mom. Okay, so to put this in perspective, I've been using this credit card since last July. So it's already been a couple of months. And I am someone who doesn't like annual fees. I am someone who looks at a credit card and looks at all the features, and I love free credit cards. However, I looked at the benefits and I couldn't help it, but my hands automatically just signed up. The features were so good that I just couldn't help it. And we're gonna go over these features in more detail here in a second. So before we get there though, I want to tell you my personal experience with it, because you need to know this. You need to know what somebody who has been on the ground, who has been using this credit card, and what kind of benefits I've been getting from this credit card. So to put things in perspective, I use this credit card mainly for groceries, and that is strategic so that I can maximize the 6% cash back on groceries. Now, one thing to keep in mind here is that it has to be groceries, because if you go to the grocery store and you buy beer, you don't get 6%. Trust me, don't ask me how I know this. Also, you can use this credit card for streaming, for Spotify. I use it for YouTube TV nowadays, goodbye DirecTV. And also I use it for transit and tolls. So it's simple to use, it works. It's a really good card so far. And as you can see here, you can get cash back on different purchases. This is actually a screenshot from my statement. We're gonna go into more numbers here in a second to give you a perspective and help you decide whether or not this credit card is for you. Okay, so now let's go into the features. Let's go over the facts about American Express. Now, you can get an entry bonus. You can earn, as I mentioned, $250 back after you spend $3,000 in purchases on your new card within the first 6 months of your membership. So you're gonna get this credit in the form of a statement credit. Now, let's go a little deeper into what reward categories does this credit card help you maximize on. So for example, the best thing that I can attest to, and the thing that has been helping me make a lot of money back, as I'll show here in a second, is supermarkets. If you go to grocery stores, hey, you get 6% cash back on purchases up to $6,000. Also, it's got 6% back on streaming. It's got 3% back on gas, transit, like maybe Ubers or Lyft, or maybe trains or tolls, which is something that I use all the time. And then you get 1% back on other categories. But the biggest hitters and the biggest levers here in the list of reward rates is absolutely the groceries and supermarket, and then the streaming. And also, as I mentioned, you do get an annual fee with this card, which is waived, by the way, for the first year. They waive it for the first year, and then after that, you get to pay the $95, which quite honestly is an amazing deal, even with the $95 fee, because you just get so many rewards. And these are rewards that you get on your everyday purchases, right? Like, you're going to spend the money anyways. It's not like some other credit cards where you have to go out of your way and go to a certain store. You have to go to a certain gas station. With this credit card, you are doing the things that you already do anyway, so might as well just get some money back. That's the way I personally look at this. Now, as an estimated credit score that you need for this credit card is about 670. You need a relatively good score for all American Express credit cards, as far as I've seen it. And you do get a 0% intro APR on purchases for 12 months. And then it varies depending on your credit score. But as a rule of thumb, of course, always make sure that you pay off your credit cards every month. That way you don't have to get hit by the fee. Now, of course, you do get additional important American Express features and protections. Like, for example, purchase protection. You get coverage for accidental damage and theft for 90 days up to $1,000 per claim. You get extended warranty, and you also get access to discounted tickets for Broadway shows, sporting events, and some other goodies that American Express offers in their portal once you sign up and you join the club. Now, if you're wondering, okay, Alex, seems to be a great cashback credit card. How about traveling? Does this card have a foreign transaction fee? And the answer is yes. This card is not meant for traveling, although you can use it, of course, but you will get a 2% fee on international purchases. So that's just something to keep in mind. Most likely, if you consider this card is not for traveling, it's probably mainly just for your everyday purchases and for families, and that's exactly why I'm making this video. So let's put things in perspective. Let's go over the pros and the cons here when it comes to the American Express Blue Cash Preferred. So of course, you do get a $250 bonus if you spend $3,000 in 6 months, which, hey, I already said how easy that can be, especially nowadays in this economy. You do get a 0% APY for the first year, which I think it's a great deal. Now, you do get an annual fee, which is voted the first year. Another pro is the high supermarket/groceries and the streaming rewards. You also get an extensive streaming list, which I'm going to be posting here on the screen right now. And then you also get money back on tolls and transits. Now, when it comes to the cons, depending on how you look at this again, you do get an annual fee of $95 after the first year, which in my personal estimation and in my opinion and experience so far, completely is outweighed by the benefits. So it's like you're investing $95 a year to get $300 back, $400 back every year. So it's really not bad if you think about it, if you look at it in those terms. Also, it's not too good for restaurants as a con. So if you eat out more than you eat at home, if you dine out all the time, if you visit a restaurant, it may not be for you. Now, another con is the fact that the rewards are capped at supermarkets after you spend $6,000. So essentially, after you earn about $360 on cashback, then your rewards drop back to 1%. So you will no longer be earning 6%. You will be earning 1% on your purchases, which is still something. And the last con that I personally identify is the fact that cashback is the main way to redeem points. So there's no other options, like maybe you want to redeem these points for hotels or gift cards. No, you redeem your points for cash, and cash, it's the only way that you can redeem your points, which is, hey, it's the whole point. It's the whole reason. That's the biggest reason to get this credit card anyways. Okay, so would I recommend this card to my mom? This is the $1 million question, and I would say, hey, mom, please. I already told my mom, actually, a couple of weeks ago, we were having dinner with my dad, and I told him about the American Express credit card. Hey, you need to get this credit card because you're going to get money back on your everyday purchases. And I explained to him everything they just said. And they were like, yeah. And they're probably going to stick with Bank of America anyways. But hey, I still recommended it to my mom. So the reason why is the high cashback opportunity, the cashback that pays for the fee, and more. Because let's just assume that you spent $500 a month on groceries. In 1 year, you would have spent about $6,000. And 6% cashback on those $6,000 is $360. As I mentioned, it's like you're investing, even with the fee, it's like you're investing $95 to get $360 back, assuming a very, very low bar of $500 a month of groceries, which is pretty attainable for most families. And then in the bigger picture, you have to spend about $1,600 in 1 year on groceries alone to break even. Another good reason I would recommend it to my mom is the fact that in the first year, you get a low intro APR of 0%, and you get no fee. And of course, you get the additional bonuses of $250 after spending $3,000 in the first 6 months. So all these reasons are strong, in my personal opinion, to get this credit card as soon as possible. And when I saw this potential, for me, it was just a no-brainer. So, but I understand this credit card is not for everyone. And if you dine out more than you eat at home, then this credit card may not be for you. This credit card is best if you spend a lot of money on groceries, which, let's face it, I'm a dad. I eat at home most of the time, and I buy my groceries, and I maximize the heck out of this credit card. You're always out on the road. If you are always having fun and going out and always eating out, then this credit card may not be the best option because then you wouldn't be getting groceries or as much groceries as you would as a family that mostly, generally speaking, they eat at home, like it is the case for my personal lifestyle. So if you dine out a lot, then there's another credit card that you could look into, you could consider, and that is the Capital One Savor. It has no fee. It has a high cashback rate for dining out or restaurants. So I'm going to leave a link in the description to that credit card if you are interested in learning more about that one, in case this American Express credit card is not for you. And if you are ready to get cashback on your everyday spending, hey, get the Blue Cash Preferred credit card today. There's going to be a link in the description that does support the channel, and it helps me keep the content free and helpful so you can make better decisions in your finances. Also, you get a $250 bonus, as I mentioned, after you spend $3,000 in the first 6 months, which is quite easy. And to give you the snapshot on what I've been getting here with this credit card, as you can see here on this picture, these are all the reward categories that are being used in this credit card for. We're talking about Spotify, streaming services. We're talking about grocery stores. We're talking about gas, also tolls that I've been using. So everything that I've been sharing here with you, I've been using this credit card for, and the results have been shocking, in my personal opinion, because here's the amount that I spent, and here's a cash back that I'm getting for all the purchases that I will be making anyways. And to put things in perspective, overall this year, I already have $112 on the way to hit my statement. And also since July, I've already had $95 back on everything with respect to this credit card. So if this credit card is for you, I'm going to leave a link in the description. And if you want more videos like this, let me know in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.